Today, we're fixing the Xterra's exhaust system. So the Xterra is back in the shop. On the last episode, we went through and we replaced the distributor, replaced the radiator, got it running really well. I took it on the road for about 200 miles and it drove awesome. But one cool morning, I noticed that there were a ton of exhaust fumes building up underneath the Xterra. And I had started to look underneath the truck, and I didn't even have to. I could see exhaust fumes just plummeting up into the cab. I could smell it, so it's back in the shop. And I drive this a lot, and I did not want, one, myself getting suffocated with fumes, and two, my kids are in the car all the time, and it's cooler out, so we don't have the windows open as much. And so it's about time I just went through and fixed the exhaust. So behind me, as if you guessed it was an exhaust system, you're right. It is basically a catback replacement exhaust. And at first I went through and I was gonna put an aftermarket muffler and go through and mock my own tube up and get my own exhaust system kind of routed and running. But I started looking for parts, and this whole entire setup right here, which is one of the largest parts I've had shipped that I thought would be smaller for some reason, was $65 shipped from Rock Auto. I mean, everything's bent. It's designed to bolt right into the flange that's behind the catalytic converters. And it is mocked up and ready to go. At least I think it is. It looks like it's the same shape and probably close in length, but having replaced a lot of exhaust, none of this is ever perfect. And in this case, the nice flange that this would bolt to is basically rust welded to the Xterra. They are rounded off, and there's no way those bolts are coming off. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go through and cut where I can basically, well, let me back up. I can go through and cut the muffler where there's a good section of tube, and then I can cut this in a good section as well where it's nice and flush, and then take a coupler, mate them together, weld them, and now I've got a brand new exhaust system in this. And it's probably going to be really quiet. That's okay. This isn't a LS or a big V8 or a turbocharged inline six. I don't know, it's not gonna, I like putting cool exhaust on vehicles, even on cars that don't even sound good. It's just fun to modify them. But I just want this to not leak and be reliable and drive around and take on some adventures. And so if I can't hear the exhaust, that's fine. We're gonna just make it right. So I'm going to start going through and getting everything ready to do this. We've got a couple things we have to do to make this work. We need to measure and really inspect the tube and see if there's areas where the tube's been expanded that could potentially couple over the existing exhaust. Okay, I've got all the packaging off the new exhaust system. Now what I need to go through and do is identify some areas on the new exhaust where it's been expanded and potentially has larger diameter exhaust pipe that has also got at least a couple inches of straight section that'll be a really good candidate for joining this exhaust to the old factory exhaust wherever I cut. And so I've already got a couple spots I've identified. So one is right in front of the muffler, right here. And then the other section is right where the exhaust flange is behind the catalytic converters, where this would, in a perfect world, just bolt right up. I think, based on what I'm seeing on the current exhaust system that's in, my best bet for cutting and welding and slipping some kind of either joining coupler pipe or potentially sliding this larger section on the new system over is right in front of the muffler. I've got about 3 inches to work with, which is plenty. And so on the factory exhaust, it looks to be a smaller diameter pipe right there. And I'm hoping that that's enough to finesse this over. And I don't think I used to have an exhaust expander, but I haven't used it forever. I don't know if I lost that in the move or where it went. So hopefully this is big enough where I can just go through and slide this over and call it a day and get this thing on the road today. If not, I'll go to the store and I'll get a section of pipe, or I'll see what I have in my own inventory. Most of the stuff I have in my own inventory is all larger, so I don't know if I will have something that would work. But anyhow, this is all ready to go. So I'm gonna get a quick measurement right here, kind of so you can see. I'm just using a pair of normal calibers. And I'm at 2 1/4 outer diameter, right in front of the muffler. And then right where the exhaust flange is at, I'm also 2 1/4 outer diameter. So I'm gonna get underneath the truck and I'm gonna measure what's down there, where my best guess of an ideal candidate to cut down below the truck is, and see what I come up with. I think it's gonna be right in front of the muffler. So I don't know, let's go find out. This is the section right here that I think is my best bet, and it looks to be a smaller diameter. So let's see what we're at. It's also an easier cut. Yep, I am just about 10 thousandths of an inch smaller here, which potentially could slip into that muffler, the new exhaust system. Cool. Well, that's a little bigger. That's also got some corrosion right there. So I think what I'll do is I will perform a cut right in this area and go from there. And just because I'm curious, what's this one at? This is a little bigger down here, and it kind of loses its straight edge pretty quick. All right, I'm gonna go get the Sawzall. We're gonna cut. Yeah, sweet. All right, I've got out the original exhaust system, and you can see, like, right in there, it is no good. But I wanted to see how close all the bends were with the replacement, and they are close enough. I've got another spot I'm going to end up welding is the rear hanger, because when I went through and actually took the nut off, the bolt broke. It was all rusted out. That's okay. I'm glad it just came off, because I didn't want to have to fight with that. So if it broke off, that's okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this crusty thing in the metal pile. It is now time to cut this where I think I've got my best shot of pulling everything together. Slip fit. I want to say slip fitting. I wouldn't really call it slip fitting. It's just having enough material on the new exhaust while still maintaining enough material on the old exhaust, so I can kind of get the fitment perfect to line up the rear hanger mount as well as the first hanger mount right past the muffler. So let me get my Sawzall. Get this nice and secure. Whoop. All right. Perfect. The new exhaust is in. It still needs to be welded, but I was able to take the new exhaust where it was just a little bit wider than the factory exhaust pipe, and I slipped it right over. It's nice and tight. Should seal up really nice when I weld it. And the first hanger is actually installed too. The rear hanger close to the tailpipe is a little bit off, so I'll probably just weld a piece of bar steel to where it used to be bolted, and it's good to go. It looks like the tailpipe sticks out just a hair too long. I don't know how I feel about that. It could get hung up on an obstacle or just looks kind of weird. I don't know. I've got plenty of room to take a Sawzall and trim it to however long I want it to be, so I'm not too worried about that. For now, I just want to get this back on the road, and I'll kind of drive it around, take some different angles of views, and try to figure out how much longer that tailpipe really is. It's also shiny and new, so it could just be, it looks like it's a little bit farther out than it really is. I don't know. I'll hack it off if I need to. So I'm going to go get my welder set up, and I'm going to get this thing welded in and this installation finished. Okay, the new exhaust system is installed, fully welded in. All the hangers are connected, and the only thing I did to it that was what I'd consider a significant modification was I cut about 6 inches off of the tailpipe. It stuck out pretty far, and I didn't want that thing to get hung up on any obstacles, or just, it looked kind of weird too. So took the Sawzall and just cut it right off, so now it's nice and tucked and out of the way. I'm going to get in and fire this thing up. Hopefully the battery's got enough juice to start. The battery's probably on its way out. So, all right, let's see what happens. Let's see. Come on, have enough juice. All right, lights are on. Oh, it's really quiet. Whoa. It is significantly quieter than the other exhaust. Like, all I hear is engine pretty much. So I'm not upset about that. That's okay. I have no exhaust leaks now, that's for sure. Let me take a peek. Yeah. I think it's good. So I'm gonna clean my mess up. I've kind of got random fab equipment and rust debris from taking that other exhaust out all over the shop floor. So I'm going to get the Xterra out of here, clean up, and get some more miles on it, and then hopefully take it out to explore some areas nearby me pretty soon. So I appreciate you watching. If you haven't checked out some of the other videos, I've got a playlist for CJ7, I've got the Xterra, I've got a lot of stuff planned. So if you like this, please subscribe, please like, really appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna get to cleaning up. I'll see you next time.